Just want to mention a time in David's life, and he was fleeing Saul, who was trying to kill him. Saul was still king, and it says that Saul eventually came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. And so we read on in this situation that while Saul was doing his business in the cave, David snuck up and cut a bit of his robe, and then waited until Saul had left the cave, and David shouted to him, "But some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I will not lift my hand against my master." David had already been anointed to be king, but instead was held back from that role, and he was being hunted down by the present king, Saul. Instead of what David had the opportunity to kill Saul and make that happen, but instead he waited on the right timing for things to happen in the right way, even though that still meant he was in a certain danger himself. And we can be people who are impatient in life, and maybe imprisoned possibly by our own bitterness or anger or hurt by whatever is past, and could potentially take things into our own hands to force things. Let's be free of such things, because they only hurt, they only bring destruction. There are things in life where we might feel entitled to be hurt, where somebody might have said something in the past, or we may have lost out on something in the past. But instead we need to be free from that. That's only going to hold us back and not enable us to be free. Let's be patient. Let's leave ourselves in God's hands and trust in God's timing, and just get on with God's will for us, and not try to force things ourselves, because that only leads to a place of some form of violence, some form of destruction, some form that is destructive for our lives. Let's leave ourselves in God's hands and in God's love. Amen.